Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
To put my name out, make a name for myself, and of course get to the NBA. I never thought about playing with my dad, but he's brought it up a couple times. Everyone's heard this before. I just want to, have people know my name is Bronny James, and not being, identified as just LeBron James' son. I feel like that would be a great end goal.
Mark, you were just in Chicago for the Combine.
Yeah.
What are the scouts saying about Bronny?
Well, they wanted to reserve judgment until they saw him. They did see he was listed as 6'1", and they did see he had a 40.5 vert. But I was like, what would you do right now before he goes and plays? What would you do? And they said, we wouldn't draft him. Both of them said they would not draft him. I said, okay, let me give him a couple days. Let's see what happens after they watch him play. Now, this is their take after watching him play. Scout 1. I still don't think he's ready, but he did some good things. He's on the smaller side, so he's going to have to be elite on defense. You can see he has good vision, makes right passes, takes good shots. He's probably going to need more time. If the Lakers don't draft him, I don't see anyone drafting him. Teams would want him on a two-way, and I don't think Clutch would want that. It gets a little tougher. The other scout I talked to, positional athlete, doesn't function as an elite athlete, tweener stuck between two positions. Should be a point guard based on his size, but he can't run an offense. He's handicapped as an undersized shooting guard because he can't shoot. 0-4 on threes on one day, 1 for 3 the other day. Needs screens to create space, and his only scoring came on paint touch floaters and can only go left. His strength is supposed to be defensively, but he's a switch matchup. Every bigger player who switched on him scored. He's a poor man's Davion Mitchell. He is not an NBA prospect, in my opinion. Not my words, words of 2 veteran NBA scouts.
Some of us are going to have to be real. Bronny James, I'm starting to see. They got people out here saying, you got grown men, YouTubers complaining about Bronny James and all this stuff, hating on Bronny James. I'm like, wait a minute. Let's pump the brakes right quick. Let's pump the brakes before we start saying that word hating. You know what? That word hating, honestly, it don't really mean much of anything anymore because they use it so freely. They have used this word, especially the younger generations. I could tell it's that younger Gen Z generation who likes using hating for everything. And another word they like using is wholesome. Everything's wholesome. What is? Anyways, words don't mean anything these days anymore. They lack meaning. Now, it was a couple of days ago. I think it was a couple of the NBA analysts, like you heard in the beginning of this video, came out and gave their honest opinion about Bronny James. I didn't know he was 6'1". I thought he was like 6'3", 6'4". I don't know why he shrunk. He shrunk to 6'1". But if all these scouts are what they're saying is true, then it is what it is. It is what it is. That's not hating. That's just pointing out facts. And I, for one, never even hated on the kid. I heard some of his interviews. Some of his interviews, he sounded like a stand-up kid. A good kid. Sound like his daddy. Well, he do sound like his daddy at times. It's like a mix of his mom and daddy. But he sounded like a decent kid. A good kid. But as far as the NBA is concerned, nah. I think it's being too much pressure on him. And it sounds like he also don't want to be in his dad's footsteps. He repeatedly, every time they ask him questions, he talk about LeBron such and such number of shoes he wears. I don't even think he wears his dad's shoes, but he don't even call his dad like my dad's shoes. He said, no, LeBron, I got the LeBron 20s. It's like, dang, he don't even call his dad's shoes. But anyway, it's just a little thing I caught. Some of us caught. But he sounded like a good kid. But let's get real now. Let's get really real. At best, second round, maybe even not drafted, but I don't think that's going to happen because based on who his dad is. But in reality, if it his dad was just to stay out of his way and not try to meddle all the time, because it sounds like he's doing, he'd probably be a second round draft pick or not drafted. You have to go to the G League. I honestly think that he should probably spend more time, or at least went to a different school other than USC to develop a little bit more. But it sounds like his dad's pushing this so he can play with his son. I guess. It's all good and dandy, but there's always other agenda. Sorry. Try not to call. There's always other agendas with LeBron when it comes to certain stuff. Everything ain't just what it is. As we all know, that stupid ass podcast he has with JJ Redick is not what most people thought it was. It was just an insightful podcast. Just talking basketball, positive basketball. No, he ain't. He over there lying and capping. Along with JJ Redick or JJ Redick. Sitting there capping the whole entire time, every episode. So get out of here. But anyways, Ticket TV brought this up. I don't think anybody else spoke about this, but for Kevin Garnett to say that LeBron James Jr., Bronny James Jr. reminds him of Kobe Bryant, or got a little bit Kobe in him. Kevin Garnett, man. Would they get to you again after you made that Baco comment a couple months ago? Did they get to you again? Told you, say this? Did they beat you up or something? We all know that's not true. I don't know why he even said something like that. Based on what the scouts have said, you gonna come up and say, oh, he can be like Kobe Bryant, he got a little bit of Kobe Bryant in him. Nah. His own dad is not even in the same category as Kobe. So what are you talking about? I have never seen someone in the magnitude of Ronnie James get this much hype. I don't even know who's going to the draft this year outside of him. Nobody knows, because they always talking about him. Who's coming out this year from the colleges, other colleges? We don't know, because all they do is talk about LeBron James Jr. We don't even know. There was other players, way other players of, I should say, sons of other players that were way better. They ain't even talking about them. Let's see right quick. Let's do a little bit of research right quick. Let's see something right quick. So I'm looking right now at Marcus Jordan's stats when he was at the University of Central Florida. Yeah, I went there. During his freshman year at UCF, they're talking about whatever. He scored 8 points per game in his true freshman year in the 2009-2010 season. Scored 1,152 points in his college career. Interesting. I don't know why they don't have the stats up from when he was in college. Marcus Jordan. Let's see here. In high school, Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, won this championship in Illinois. Led because I guess he transferred to Whitney Young Mandic High School in Chicago for his junior season year. He led Whitney Young Dolphins to Illinois' 4A championship in 2009, scored a game-high 19 points in 69-66 over Waukegan. He was named the state tournament MVP. Jordan was rated by ESPNU as the 60th best high school senior shooting guard in the country, averaging 10 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. I don't know about the other one. Let's see the other one. So that was pretty much Marcus Jordan. And when he was in high school and college, So he already has better stats than freaking Bronny James. Look at the oldest son, Jeffrey Jordan. Which I watched Jeffrey Jordan a little bit more. They don't have his stats on here either. Let's see here. Let's pass. Right here. Says in high school, Jeffrey Jordan averaged 15 points his senior year, second team All-State as senior by the IBCA, and special mention by All-State by the Chicago Tribune Champaign News Gazette. Selected to play the Jordan Brand All-American Game, City Suburban Game, IBCA All-Star Game, and that was a lot of high school year. It's not telling me what he did in college, though. Stats in college. It's not telling me that. But at least those two actually did something, had somewhat of a career in college. You look at Bronny Jordan. Let's see here. Bronny James. You look at his only year at USC. 4.8 points a game in 25 games. He shot a whopping 26% from three. That's terrible. 36% from the field. He was not great from the free throw line. Averaged 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 4.8 points per game at USC in his only year there. Yeah. I don't know about this, guys. I don't know. Maybe he can get better, but I don't know, my guys. I don't know. I think there's a lot of pressure on this kid for no reason. They just easily gave him the McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand Classic, and Nike hoops. Last time I checked, let's see here. I don't know how much he averaged his senior year. Not telling me. As a senior, averaged 14.2 points a game, 5 rebounds, 2.4 assists. Lead his team to a 23-11 record. Yeah, that's not McDonald's All-America, Nike Hoops Son, Jordan Brand. That's not like something you probably seen from, I'm trying to think of a player like freaking who didn't pan out, but was named all those. Somebody like a OJ May or something, Brandon Jennings. He's not even on that level. I'm sitting here reading this, sorry. But yeah, to wrap this up, I don't know, man. I wish the kid well. I hope that he does when he I hope he gets to do what he wants to do and become successful somewhere. I feel like this is a lot of push. Like I said before, a lot of push for LeBron to play with his son. I think the youngest son's a little bit better. If you see him play, he's way better. That's someone they should be looking out for. And there's other players they ain't even talking about. NBA players they're talking about. I heard Gilbert Arenas' son is brilliant. He's decent for someone who's in their sophomore year, finishing their sophomore year. Carmelo Anthony's son, I see him play. He's way better than Bronny James Jr. So we all know where this is going. This is not hating. I hope the kid don't get embarrassed. But knowing LeBron James, he'll probably cover for his own son. I hope he does cover for his own son. You hope. We just throw his son in the freaking fire like that. But yeah, the list is only 6'1.5", 210 pounds. Yeah. And he only averaged 2.4 assists in his high school senior year. And how many points he averaged in college? 2.1 assists. Yeah, he's going to have to if he's going to be a point guard in the NBA, because I heard he is kind of athletic, but if he's going to be a point guard in the NBA, in order to last it, he got to get more than 2.1 assists. You got to get more than 2.1. Well, yeah. You got to shoot better than 26% from the three also, especially in today's NBA. But anyways, I ain't it there. I'm reading here the player profile. Sorry. Analysts had described shooting and defense as main strengths, although he lacks the size of most NBA players with a skill set. James excels in catch and shoot situations and also capable of shooting off movement. He can defend point guards. That's what I heard. He can play defense. That's what he's going to have to be. Someone like a Patrick Beverly or something. Maybe he start off from there. Maybe a better Patrick Beverly. Going on read defensive anticipation intensity has been praised. ESPN NBA draft analyst Jonathan Ginvey noted that James was developing one of the premier defenders in his class. James has had a basketball IQ and a willing passer. Although he's a reliable ball handler, he can struggle to create separation from defenders. His driving and finishing abilities have been labeled as weakness, despite having the strength to finish through contact. James' playing style has drawn comparisons to D. Anthony Melton, Lonzo Ball, or Drew Holiday. Well, if he gonna get in the Drew Holiday space, he gotta do way better than that. But anyways, because Drew Holiday is the only one that's successful. Well, I can't say those other two in any name are not successful, but productive, I should say. Lonzo Ball hasn't really played almost 2 years now. I don't know what happened to D. Anthony Melton. Oh, he's still on the Sixers? No. But anyways, that's all I got to say about the issue.